What is up, ladies and gents? This is the Reprimanded Podcast. I am your host, Zach, aka MeanM16. Today, I've got three guests with me. I've got Mac, aka Enjoy Your Nap. I've got Harley Freshore, aka Gyro. And I've got Eric, as you all know, is also Eric. So what's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, so it is quite late when we are recording this. This is actually quite late. We were supposed to upload the podcast, Saturday, and by the time this gets uploaded, it's gonna be Sunday, which I greatly apologize for. I said every Saturday I'd upload one, and I live by that promise. We had a few issues getting all our guests ready this week, but we're certainly gonna make sure, and that's actually Gyro's fault.
Not me.
But Mac, you might want to move closer. Your mic's a tad bit quiet.
Can you hear me?
But yeah, it's a little better now for certain. So like I said, every Saturday there will be a podcast uploaded somewhere in the afternoon, probably around like 5 or so. This podcast takes me literally like 5 hours to render and like get uploaded. It is fucking super huge. I don't know why it takes so long. It's probably because my computer's absolutely crap. But yeah, and after this podcast, I also plan, and don't take me 100% on this one. This is just an idea I'm pitching. I'll ask you guys here in a second what you think of it. Podcasting, having a podcast uploaded every Wednesday as well. So we would record Tuesday evenings and have it uploaded on Wednesdays. So there'd be two podcasts a week, both an hour in length every week. You know, to be more consistent for you guys who enjoy listening in. What do you guys think of that real quick?
I'm cool with that.
I think that'd be a pretty good idea.
That's one every 3 days. It'd be more consistent for our viewers.
Just to think, for me, I have soccer games on Wednesdays, so
Oh God, you're such a fucking loser. God damn, man.
So I wouldn't be able to be on it. It'd have to be Mac and Eric and Elders.
Thank God.
No,
Somebody besides Gyro. He's such a Fruit Loop.
no, like it's midterms around now, so it's pretty busy. So I don't know if I can do two. I could probably do.
How do you have midterms so early?
Yeah.
They're all like through this week and next week. So.
Sorry if I'm chowing down. I'm eating popcorn. But yeah, midterms are really early for you, dude. It's been like a month.
Well, we started like at the end of August and we finished.
Oh, that's right. You started really early. Wait, what are you talking about? I started like the same time.
Yeah, and it's gonna be October.
Yeah, like Monday. We're starting so early.
Some classes do it in 3 pieces, some do it in 2 pieces. But over the next few weeks, it's gonna be like a lot of papers and
They're just, you probably go to school like 3 months out of the year. You have no education. Anyway, let's move on. So, once again, I apologize for eating on the podcast. I'm probably going to do that a little bit. I'm sorry. I need to eat.
Overweight.
Actually, from Africa. So, I only eat once every 17 days. So, this is a treat for me. Oh, that was actually offensive. I apologize. Somebody's going to find that really, like, disturbing. Oh my God, people in Africa don't get to eat. Why are you making fun of them pretending you're from Africa? First world problems. Yeah, so never mind then. I'm not from Africa. It's not true. From the United States. Anyway, we're gonna move on to our, of course, first topic, which is Battlefield related. It is the Battlefield 3 Aftermath trailer that the premium guys got. What did you guys think of that? I thought it was 40 seconds of introducing the trailer, and then like 20 seconds of actual screenshots.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed.
I didn't get to see it.
I was expecting something like more along the lines of maybe some beta or alpha footage or something like that, but at least the add-on. But they didn't really. It was just a bunch of pictures mostly, and it was kind of just downtrodden.
I mean, I wasn't disappointed in it or anything, but I wasn't really expecting it either. So, I mean, I was glad we got to see a little bit of it because.
Yeah, I mean it's still 2 months away or something like that, so it is a little early, by their standards.
Really,
what
2 months?
Yeah, in December.
Huh?
So,
Well, they were only screenshots, and it was.
oh
Don't
yeah,
get me
yeah,
wrong. The maps look pretty cool. I actually just put a link to the video and a slight, small, itty bitty article, but it's the video, the trailer, that's actually important. Um, so Eric, you want to watch that, or you guys want to watch it again real quick? The maps looked all right. Obviously, it's like 10 seconds of actual screenshots. Um,
I'm actually
but I mean,
really excited for this DLC.
yeah, I am too, because I think it's gonna be a more close quarters set of maps. It's gonna rephrase that, because close quarters sucked. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be tighter maps.
More
you're
like
looking at
medium
back to the
range
basic?
engagements.
thinking like Sen Crossing.
Yeah.
That's what I like. That's my perfect, or I wouldn't say perfect, but my more comfortable range to engage in is medium.
I prefer to get in like an engagement similar to. So I think, is there anything more comfortable than Sen? I like Bazaar a bit as well.
Yeah.
Bazaar's kind of good.
Up to you
'Cause you
guys,
got-
but I like close quarters, and that's just because I'm a close quarters.
Max and
Yeah.
AEK horror.
No, shut up, okay? It's a
Dude,
great.
it's true.
No, shut up, man. Oh my god. He's an AEK horror.
Dude, I tell you what.
It's great for close range.
I just watched the trailer. It's just a bunch of buildings. Like, it's not really a trailer.
Yeah.
No shit, Sherlock. We've been talking about that.
That's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, we got to see some of it, which is kind of cool. We get to know the setting. That's what I liked about it. Is they already let us know, for the people who weren't aware, what the setting would be. That this is, you know, aftermath of an earthquake. So I thought
Yeah.
it was.
And like I said too, I mean, the DLC is still 2 months away, so even for them just to release, screenshots is, it's better than nothing at this point.
Oh no, I'm premium. I'm pretty sure I should have the DLC already. Don't we get it 2 months early?
2 months. Yeah.
I wish.
That'd be sweet.
um. Anyway, yeah, I thought it was good because I got to know what the layout would be, which is kind of what I thought it would be. A lot of rubble, torn down buildings, and I think it's actually gonna be really cool. I think it might be a bitch gameplay wise because the Americans using like the right camo, even the Russians probably using the right camo. I think like the desert khaki camo. I sound like I'm doing Battlefield fashion. Using the right camo, I think people are gonna blend in a little too well.
It
That's
looked a
just
lot.
my guess.
It looked a lot like the Back to Karkan expansion.
Mm-hmm.
So. And
It
I
did.
run Desert Khaki on that map too.
That's actually the only expansion they've released so far that I actually enjoy playing.
Armored
Really?
Kill was. We'll get into Armored Kill a bit more, but I like Armored Kill.
I do too.
It's fun, but it's just like at the same time you feel like you're sitting in a vehicle all day and you kind of
It
feel
feels like it wasn't built for consoles, but more for PC.
We'll get into that a bit more. Let's keep on topic here real quick. We'll finish up with this aftermath.
It says
Trail
that
stuff. Yeah.
at the end of the thing it says 4 new map. Well, obviously 4 new map. It says new vehicles in it too.
Yeah, I've heard. Now this is totally rumor. I could be totally wrong, and it'd be disappointing if I was wrong. But that they're gonna have like busted up ass vehicles as the vehicles. Like the trucks from the campaign with like the 50s stuck on them.
yeah.
Oh, like the little
that'd be
pickup
pretty.
truck.
That'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That'd be pretty
Like-
sweet.
Oh, that'd
Like
be
so the
pretty
Jeeps are like pickup trucks.
Or maybe like crappy little cars that just they like get in and drive around. And there's
Yeah.
a new game mode too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I
they
wonder
mentioned.
I wonder what that's gonna be.
Yeah, I was curious as well. I want to see a new game mode. That'd be quite enjoyable.
I mean, because
Yeah.
from what I can tell so far, like they've pretty much got all the game modes that fit what's in the game right now. So I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to be adding.
Well, I'm gonna get a little off topic here real quick. I did talk to some people the other day about a new game mode that I've always thought would be a really good idea for almost any game, but it's like perfect for Battlefield. So here's the circumstance. You've got like 3 or 4 artillery units. These are big ass artillery units too, like howitzer type size artillery units. Maybe even bigger. These things are incapable of really defending themselves or whatever. Or just big ass artillery units that need to be moved from one location to the other. You call it convoy. So you've got like 4 jeeps and like maybe a tank or something. I don't know. 4 jeeps, like a helicopter, a jet, and maybe a tank. Just enough to transport basically the entire team. And the defending team has like a set amount of spawn points. Now what you do is you get something like Karg Island, and you know how it's got that really long road that leads like basically from the beach all the way to the other side of the map?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, imagine there's like 4 like toll booth like checkpoints there. All right. Somewhere along the road, they randomly place it. The team that's attacking has to get their artillery through all these checkpoints and like into the enemy base, like that little dock somewhere over there. And that's where they have to like say store them or something like that. So you've got to get these artillery units over there. They can't defend themselves, and the only way to blow them up is to run up to them and set charges. So it's sort of like Rush in that you have to set charges, but the charges go off.
And it's actually an objective.
Yeah, and there's 4 of them.
That'd be sweet.
But
So basically,
that sounds pretty interesting too, because it'd be like a two-way kind of street rush, because both teams would be doing attacking and defending in their own ways.
exactly. So you've got one team that's trying to slow them down and say, I don't know exactly how you would slow it down in a way, but say the game, for one, it would either last however long the defending team can, however long it takes them to destroy the convoy, and for the attacking team, the game would last like a max of say 20 minutes or 15 minutes, I guess, something like that, because the artillery would move at the exact pace it would take for them to get across the map in say 15 minutes. So maybe it's like 5 kilometers an hour, which is pretty slow. But then you've got the attack heli maybe, or a transport heli even, and maybe a transport heli would be more appropriate. You got a transport heli on the attacking team that's got the convoy, and then like a few jeeps, like some Hummers, and then like a jet, perhaps. The defending team would have like a tank, maybe some jeeps, and then trying to think, do the Russians have any jeeps similar to the Humvee?
They have the Vodnik.
Oh yeah, that thing's shit. But yeah, sure, they can have the Vodnik. And that'd basically be the game mode. So the defending team would have to set 4 charges, similar to the Rush charges. I'm thinking, the same time that Rush does, but maybe a little bit faster on the actual exploding part. But the plant time would still be like 5 seconds, and it'd take like 20 seconds to blow up. So the attacking team would spawn on the furthest back artillery unit. So that way, if that furthest back artillery unit... Oh, maybe that wouldn't be a good idea then. Because if they blew that up first, then you'd have nowhere to spawn. Okay, there's kinks to work out. But maybe you have to plant them in a set order. Like the first one closest, the second one, the third one, the fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
And that defending team spawns on, let's say, a jeep or something in the back of all 4. And that's like your spawn point, or there's some sort of spawn point somewhere around there. So it'd be within the artillery's range, and it's moving pretty slow. So really all the defending team has to do is kill a few people and plant the charge, and then, hope all goes well. So it's sort of like a ginormous game of Rush, but that's constantly moving. And that's why it'd be really interesting, is because you'd utilize the entire map.
Yeah.
On Karg, you'd start at the beach, and, if the defending team's good enough and the attacking team's worthless, they could win right on the beach. It could take them 20 seconds. Or, well, I guess more like 3 minutes. But, it could be a quick game, and they could end it basically at that beach. Or it could last 15 minutes, or 14 minutes and 50 seconds, and they get it right before they get to their end point. But, however they do it, I think it'd be really cool, and that's sort of my game mode I would add. And it would have been great, and I thought of this before Armored Kill came out, actually, and I was hoping, sort of hoping, that they would introduce it. There's no way they could have known what the fuck that was, but it would have been cool to see something very similar in Armored Kill, because the maps would fit it perfectly.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
They're large enough.
Alvarez Mountain could have actually been a good map.
Yeah, but
Armored Shield would have been great too.
It would have kept both the teams focused on that spot. I mean, wherever their artillery's at, but it's going to be constantly around the map. So you're not just going to have people, sitting off on one side of the map. Maybe 6 versus they're taking on 2 people that are on one flag, and then the rest of the teams, are off on the other side of the map, and then the rest of the map's completely unpopulated.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You can make good use of a lot more of the map,
Well,
and it's sort of what.
the
Yeah.
thing is with this is that the the maps themselves are designed, not completely designed, but they're meant for larger amounts of people. Like console, you can only have 12 on 12, where you can have 60
Oh.
people in total. So having computer,
Yeah.
we have to face this thing with consoles having like a big open no man's land where no one's hanging out because there's no point to being there. But with 64 people on each thing, having that many people going across the map, I'm sure there's going to be obviously some areas of combat, and obviously other areas where there's not going to be going on. But I think it's more of a console limitation issue for people. That's really the issue that we see in a lot of the armored kill maps, is that the levels are better for having a larger amount of people. Just keep the action going everywhere.
Well, yeah, but going back to strictly like the game mode, real quick. I mean, PC, the game I want to go over. I've heard many times, and I'm sure this is confirmed somewhere, and people know of this. Battlefield 3 was made for consoles. It was a PC port. The only difference I've really seen in PC and console gameplay, they said the maps would be a lot smaller in consoles. From what I can tell, not true. Um, it definitely seems like the maps were made for console, and they were made slightly better on PC. Like Karg Island, for example. The bases on Karg Island on console right now, they're like the same as they are on PC. There's just an extra base where the radio tower is, like right behind that. There's a base in there.
Yeah.
And
That's a
then
pretty cool part of the map that never gets used on console.
exactly, it is. But I mean, for the most part, it's the maps are exactly the same. I think the boundaries are the same and everything. It's
Oh,
just they add more flags.
I was just looking at the strategy guide and the use of the strategy guide, but the one like neat thing I did notice
The bridge.
is that it shows both the console version of the maps and it also shows the computer versions of the maps. And like you see the extra like base or two added here, some extra vehicles and all that. And so it
Yeah.
gives you a bigger breakdown. Like I was looking at Alvor's Mountain, I think it was, very briefly. And there's like an instead of having that middle base C where you get the gunship, instead there's no base there whatsoever. It's just an empty area, and it's basically like 4 positions where the Russians spawn. They get that half the top of the mountain basically, like 4 spread out bases over there, and the Americans get like 3 ones down below around the river or the frozen lake or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, PC's got quite the good layout, and I think the maps are better on PC, and the game in general is better on PC. But it was definitely made with the intention that this will play pretty damn good on console.
Yeah.
And they accomplished that. The maps are made for console, but they are slightly improved on PC on how you lay out the stuff. And on console, again, there's areas where we just don't use, and the reason we don't use them is there's nothing there. On PC, that's the difference. They put something there. The antenna on Caspian border, there's a flag right there. The radio tower on Karg, behind that, there's a flag right there. Every place, little location we never go to, there's usually a flag there that we just don't know about.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's
and
on PC.
don't they have Conquest Large also on PC? Because I
Yeah, well,
know
that's the difference.
I've seen some gameplay of Grand Bazaar Conquest, and they just have they have the same mode where you can have 3 flags, but they also have the Conquest Large where there's 5 flags, and there's 2 added flags on either side of the map and the corner
Hmm.
streets.
Yeah, exactly. And those aren't even used that much. It's still basically the same 3 main flags, but they just make slightly more use, out of the unused areas of the map. But um, yeah, I just wanted to spit out the idea of that game mode to some people. Who knows? Maybe somebody who can actually suggest the idea to somebody at DICE, perhaps. Maybe it'd be a good idea. I think it really would. I think it'd be a fun game mode. It'd be interesting to see like a moving game of Rush, and I'm sure they know they're game developers. They know how to work it out a lot more than I do. All the little kinks, although with their last patches they've proved otherwise. Um, they still know how to make a damn great game. So I'm
Yeah,
sure
I agree with
that base idea, if they enjoy it, they think it could be something, they'll eventually do something with it in the future. But that'd be my like dream game mode. It'd be fast paced because it's technically always moving. Even though it's at a slow pace, even Rush can be very fast paced, and those are just two sitting bases. Imagine if the bases were started with the attacking team and they were slowly moving towards the defending team. Now you've got this, game of Rush where it's sort of the tables are turned, but at the same time they're not, because you've got to move this objective ahead. So it'd be interesting. And like you said, Eric, both teams would be attacking and defending, which would also be really cool.
Yeah, then it'd be more like a conquest type aspect in that
Exactly.
sense that they're both teams are attacking and defending certain objectives, but it wouldn't be just the same. Like, because like for conquest, it's the same. You're attacking and defending in pretty much the exact same way on a flag, but in that it'd be different because like we'll just go with the Russians as defenders because they always are in rush. They'd be defending a certain point on the end of the map. Well, probably most likely the reasonable answer would be they're trying to keep that artillery from getting set up to bomb a position,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're defending a certain position on the map, a strategical position, but they're also attacking the artillery, and then the attackers are trying to get set up, obviously, and defending the artillery. So they'd be attacking and defending in different aspects.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be really cool.
It
Garo,
would
what
be
do you
something.
think?
It'd be definitely
Yeah.
something. It would definitely be something completely new, which is, I mean, I don't know. Probably played about 1,000 Rush games in my lifetime, so
Oh,
I'm
I played
definitely,
like three, three
I'm,
thousand.
yeah, I'm definitely ready. I'd be definitely ready for some more game modes because that's one thing that this game kind of lacks. Conquest, they have Conquest and Rush, TDM, which isn't an original, and Tank Superiority is kind of new. It's pretty cool. And it seems like every time they come out with a new game type, it's pretty fun too. Like Tank Superiority was the funnest thing to do on Armored Kill. So if
Yeah.
whatever they do with the next
Battlefield or Edition.
yeah, for Aftermath, whatever they do for the next game type for that, it might be. I think it's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm. And it might be interesting to talk a bit about sort of at what I see to be Battlefield's predecessor. Is it predecessor? Successor?
Yes.
Successor is what comes after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Battlefield's fucking failure. Anyway, I realized immediately though, so cut me some slack. It's fucking 1 a.m. Um, so one thing I'll notice about Battlefield Successor is what kind of game modes they put in Medal of Honor, Warfighter. That's what I think Battlefield's sort of successor is Medal of Honor Warfighter.
Yeah.
Because it's coming right in between the release of Battlefield, what is it, 4. God damn, see? I'm telling you, I'm tired. A little bit. So, interesting game mode is going to be thrown into that. But we're kind of going into big maps here. What do you guys think of Armored Kill being so-called dead now? I can kind of agree. It's
Well, I haven't even really been playing it that much. Like I like sitting
No
on
one has.
my thing,
Mhm.
but like I still go into a couple games here and there, just try out the tank destroyer or whatever. But then like when it first came out, it was kind of fun. I just wanted to see what the contrast was. I tried to look at how many servers there were in the U.S. for close quarters. It numbered around 8, and then
yeah.
for Armored Kill, it was like some ridiculous number, like 300, something like that. It was
You
rated.
saying
Then
total servers in total or like pages?
no, just yeah, pages, or no,
Yeah.
servers in total that I saw up and running.
Oh, dude, there was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I just feel like there was a lot more close quarters servers than like 8. You
No,
got to include the
this
full
was when it
ones.
came out, like it's like a day or two after it came out, and I just wanted
Oh,
to
okay,
see.
yeah.
And I was just like, I was laughing to myself. 'Cause I'm like, this is hilarious. And then now I just checked it like the other day, like it was like 2 days ago, and the number is up to like maybe 20 or 30 or so close quarters, and then the Armored
Like
Kill,
30.
which is still popular because it came global
Mm-hmm.
for everyone on Xbox. It's like around 100. It was like around 150 or nearing 200 or so, which is still a sizable amount, but it's definitely not anywhere near the size it was when it first came out.
Yeah, like I mean, there's only like 5 pages of Armored Kill servers and like 2 of Close Quarters servers. But for me, it was crazy to see Armored Kill being just spammed game mode after game mode. You know,
Yeah.
people who hadn't even changed their server names to match Armored Kill stuff. They're like, Metro Bazaar send 250,000% tickets all day, 24/7. You know, their servers are now running Armored Kill maps.
Yeah.
And you know that people were switching Armored Kill quick, and now it really feels like not necessarily that a server is hard to find, but that servers aren't very common. And I watched a video by a commentator, Battlefield commentator on YouTube that I actually really enjoy, named Sergeant Merrell. I love his content. If you guys haven't seen Sergeant Merrell, I'll actually throw a link in the description. He puts up really good Battlefield videos. Seems like a really great guy, and he puts out some pretty useful content. He plays on PC, and he put out a video recently talking about how he showed a screenshot of it. There was 5 fucking servers for all of Battlefield 3. Or fucking all of Battlefield 3, Jesus.
All of
Armored Kill on Battlefield 3. So all of Armored Kill had, in North America, so this is East, West, South US, had 5 servers. That is
Wow.
dead
Wow.
to me.
Yeah.
5 servers.
So what time of the night was this? Like what time do you?
I think it was like sometime in the morning-ish, like 10 in the morning.
What's the morning? No one's awake or up then.
Yeah, but
No one's
well,
awake at 10 in the morning Pacific time. You're right, Mac. I
Like
didn't
this-
mention the specific time, but yeah, so like,
even
dude,
if
you gotta think though, this afternoon there's 5 servers.
even if there were nobody in the servers, they would still show up. Like that just means,
Exactly.
like there were only
Exactly.
5 servers running Armored Kill, is what he's saying. That actually,
Yeah.
you know,
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Wait, has it been released for the general public, not just the
Yeah.
premium elite?
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
it's out for everybody now.
Dude, that's terrible. I figured that it would pick up again once that everyone got access to it.
That's how Close Quarters went too.
Well, Close Quarters is still pretty active, isn't it? I don't really know. I just
It's
played a
fairly
test game.
active. You know, it gets the nitpickiness for the guys that aren't necessarily fans of vehicles. They just want
Mac.
that gun on gun. Mac, the AEK whore.
Hey, time out. I can do my fair share in a tank, okay? So don't hate.
Against
Anybody
Rambees.
can, stupid.
Yeah.
It's a tank.
Don't be hating.
I be hating all day, every day, son. That's how I do. Haters gonna hate,
Sipping on that haterade.
son.
Oh, shut up.
I
That
do.
You guys stop that. That's just terrible.
Anyway, quick another topic is the Medal of Honor Warfighter beta hits Xbox 360 only.
Suckers.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
I know,
Yeah.
PS3 losers, man.
The PC, man, you guys sound so depressed. What's
I-
wrong with you
no,
guys? You
like,
sound energetic.
I'm pretty happy about it. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because I'm not too excited for the game itself. But I'm gonna try the beta out and hopefully it'll prove me wrong or change
How do you
my
get the
mind on
beta?
subject. You just download it when it comes out.
Yeah,
Oh.
assuming just
The
download it.
marketplace.
Swag.
Yeah, the game comes out October 23rd, so I'm gonna assume the beta comes out about the 6th or 7th. Whenever, what is it? I think it's like the 8th is the first Monday in October. I'm assuming that'll be when, first Tuesday I think is the 8th.
no.
I think that'll be when they release the beta. Is the 8th.
Tomorrow's first.
This goes out for all the people who complain about having to pay for Xbox Live. That's what Microsoft does with your money. They take it and they throw it at EA. They throw it at EA to give us exclusive
Yeah.
beta rights
Beta.
for Metal.
Man, why am I paying for it? I love how you stated that. For all the people bitching about about paying for Xbox Live, this is what Microsoft does with your money. They throw it at EA and say, "Gives me games."
Gives
Yeah,
me
exactly.
games.
And
They say they just send them a message. They go to any company they want. They're like, "All right, gives me games."
yeah,
And
pretty
then-
much.
Then they just hit send. Within the hour, they're like $50 quadrillion zillion dollars. Microsoft replies, we got the monies. The games. They say, they say, yes, we have the games. So and so
I didn't.
replies, we want those games. Gives people the games.
The PS3 comes in like, but we
But
can't
the
afford
good
that
guy-
because we don't charge people.
Yeah. Well, they got the early release on Battlefield. Microsoft like, we need makeup
Great,
for
they're beta
Battlefield
testers.
costs. We accidentally screwed up. Gives us the more games. Then they just like include it. Like they get somebody who can't even like spell. So that's
They
the point.
pick a gyro.
Yeah, Gyro can't spell. It's the worst speller ever.
I has the money. Can I has the game, please?
I has the money. Can I has the game? So that they just include a check with it and they send it away. It's like, a check with like a 5 and then like a blank number of zeros. They just add however much they want.
They don't even read the note. They're just like, oh, money? All right, here you go.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's that's actually what Microsoft is doing with your money. They're getting us exclusives. But their reasoning for some reason is that this beta is being released so that way we can focus on gameplay issues and not functionality issues, which it does make a bit of sense. But they went to PS3 as well.
Oh,
They
yeah.
totally went to Sony, and Sony or whoever runs that place is like, we'll pass. And Xbox is like, we has the monies. So. So they're like, we gotta make up for Battlefield 3. We'll take sort of your successor there.
Yeah.
But I tell you
But-
what, maybe EA might have cut Battlefield or cut Xbox a deal.
What do you mean?
Like maybe they cut them a deal since that they gave Battlefield 3 exclusives.
Well, that was because weren't they supposed to, like, the PS3 users were supposed to get like Battlefield 1942 free with Battlefield 3 or something like that, and then they didn't deliver. EA and DICE didn't deliver on it, and like everybody bitched
Really?
about it.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
didn't either.
remember reading something about that. Like that's why they get the content a week early because
That's actually really interesting then.
DICE and EA flaked on them. They were supposed to give them a free copy of 1942 with I think it was like a pre-order special for Battlefield 3.
Yeah,
And-
I've heard about it, but I didn't actually know that's not what worked. Or I remember it was some sort of Battlefield or something like that. Yeah, so that's interesting. That's actually might be what happened. I always thought it was just like Sony's like, we finally find a way to get the monies. Microsoft take all our monies, so we don't have lots of money, but here's some monies. Thank you. And they send a check with like $300 attached. Like that's like, all right, we feel sorry for you. Here you go.
2 weeks.
So that's what happened with that. But yeah, back on topic once again. Armored Kill virtually dead, especially on PC apparently. On console, like still got some people playing it.
I was playing it earlier.
I think he was playing it just like 20. Well, actually, it's been a while since we started, but playing it a while ago. All right, so moving on, we've got some GTA 5 screenshots. Now, for somebody like myself who's an enormous GTA fan, this is sort of exciting.
I love GTA too myself.
Hold on, wait.
Do you have a way to link it?
Yeah. I'll just Google fucking GTA 5 screenshots. What?
I don't have internet.
You're
How are you talking to us through the internet?
Yeah, that's even better. I said you're poor if you don't have internet. Nobody will be offended by that because everybody who listens to this will have internet. So,
Unless they listen
So-
to it at a friend's house.
so first world problems. You can't hang. All right. I just saw a screenshot of a fucking jetpack that I didn't even catch earlier. Just seen it right now. There's a fucking jetpack.
I see some
That's-
dirt bikes.
That's pretty sick.
I see an old like prop plane, like 2 wings on here too.
Like a biplane. I done seen it.
I
But yeah,
can't get
there's
this
some
game.
there's some pretty cool screenshots and some of the stuff we would be talking about for those again listening to the podcast, which is everybody listening to the podcast. I will be including either screenshots or hopefully if I can some videos to what we're talking about. Most of these topics I will have a link to in the description, and if I can't get it on the screen, that is. But for the screenshots, which we're talking about right now, I'll probably just include them somewhere on your screen right now. They'll be fading in and out someplace like that or something. If I can't figure out how to do it and I'm stupid, I'll just Just fucking Google GTA 5 screenshots. Like, right now. Just do it. It's easy. But if you're lazy and you want to see them on screen, do that too.
Guy can't spell.
Yeah, if you're gyro and spell like 74689 screen shooties. I don't know. You can't even use the alphabet correctly. You just put in numbers and then screen shooties. Um, but sorry, it's not funny. It's not funny to make fun of Gyro. He's actually
What is
dyslexic.
screen shooties?
Exactly the point. You misspelled it, smart one.
That is the question we're asking you, Gyro.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, so for me personally, these screenshots are pretty cool just because, um, for one, Rockstar's fucking making so much money that they can get people excited over screenshots. They make so much bank. I love Rockstar.
Yeah,
They're probably my
great.
favorite developer.
Yeah, they
Just
they make great quality games.
They fucking do. Like, I can't think of an actually bad game. A lot of people, for some reason, didn't like LA Noire. I think it was a
It was
game that
great.
fit a certain type of player. It was like, if you really sort of, there was sort of a target audience for LA Noire. But me personally, I liked it. The only thing I would have changed, the gunplay in that game was actually really sweet. But you just never got to fire any fucking guns.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing.
There was
So,
three
like,
different guns. It was like an M1 Garand and your pistol and a shotgun and a machine
there was like
gun.
an M1 Grand. There's like the bar, the M1911, and then
That shotgun thingy.
yeah, that old shotgun. So, I mean, if they would include it, and there's a Tommy gun too.
Yeah.
So if they would have just included a few more guns, like say 5 more, and then also made it so like chases and whatnot were more prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
Like some occasional more chases, like another bank robbery, a gas station holdup, some stuff like that. That'd been really cool. Just where I actually got to shoot some shit.
Yeah.
I'm a cop, but that doesn't mean I always have to keep my gun in my pants.
Uh,
Y'all know I don't keep my gun in my pants. You know what I'm saying?
the thing
Gangster
I
cop.
really like about Rockstar though is that they focus more on their single player story rather than multiplayer.
Yeah.
And I think that's a refreshing change of pace nowadays.
Yeah,
But they do
and
have really good multiplayer at the same time.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I always would laugh at GTA 4. Like most of the people would play at the airport, and all you would see is running around in the helicopter, the Gatling guns, and then everyone trying to shoot them down with RPGs. And I would just laugh my head off because there was no way to track the stuff in the air, and I would just laugh as the rockets go whizzing by. And
Yeah, great game, man. GTA 4 multiplayer was actually super fun because all the shit you could do in it, and if you were creative, you could kind of rig some stuff up, and it was just really fun. I'm really looking forward to GTA 5. Love Rockstar, love their games. They always make really high quality products, and it's always great to see a developer. I feel like they're one of the most humble developers.
Yeah.
They sit there and wait. That we don't know a release date for GTA 5, nothing like that. They release a trailer, it's fucking gameplay. They release screenshots, they're fucking real screenshots, not like CGI or something like that. They put stuff out there. They don't make big asses of themselves, releasing crazy stuff and doing false promises, releasing deals and stuff like that. You know, a lot of these bigger developers nowadays, they do really cheap tactics, and I just feel like Rockstar is a really legit company, and they do make great games, and that's why people like them. It's not because they have the best trailers or the best promises. It's because they deliver the best games.
Oh
Mm.
yeah, that's for sure. And
But
I know
also,
GTA 5.
definitely,
Oh, go ahead.
it was fun. Oh my goodness, especially when they came out with the Undead Nightmare.
Red Dead Redemption was fucking
Dude,
great.
that's a great game.
Yeah,
Amazing
badass game.
That is best single player of all time in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's right up there with like Mass Effect. They kind of tie.
Yeah, Fallout was good too. But
Oh, that's pretty good too. But Eric, what were you saying?
Oh yeah, I was just saying that like I like how they don't have to talk themselves up. Like they don't run to their mouths at all about the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody knows that it's gonna blow you away when it comes out because
exactly.
I remember the first time like GTA 4 is its graphics and everything are nothing now for the times we're in. But I remember when it first came out, the very first time I played that game,
It's fucking amazing.
like it fucking blew my mind. Like it was badass, and I had a blast with it. I mean, I still
Yeah,
can have a blast with it today too.
Red Dead to this day is still one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was playing that earlier this week.
And check it out, they didn't even make a PC version of that. I can only imagine in my dreams that what a PC version of Red Dead would look like.
Dude, with all the mod capabilities, that would be a really sweet PC version game.
Possibly, but I just know that
think of John Marston walking around in a bikini now.
with a what out?
With a bikini.
Oh God!
You're
Why
queer.
would you think
He's
that?
definitely queer.
Why would you?
Funny.
The most badass cowboy in history, practically, and the first thing you think of is him in a bikini. I thought you said a cane. That a cane would have been pretty badass. Him walking around like
Yeah, they always have
him walking around like,
Smart.
nigga, I just been shot by 20 soldiers and survived. I got a
slapping
cane
hoes.
now, though.
Uh,
I don't know.
And
The
just-
ending of that game, I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody who hasn't. No, fuck it. It's been out like 2 years. He gets shot. If he would have somehow like somebody would have modded it and done like a really somebody could have done a really sick mod where he survived.
that's what
And
the one is. He's a zombie. Zombie undead.
fuck
Shut
that.
Shut up.
Fuck
No.
that shit. That's even in an alternate universe, technically speaking, too.
Yeah.
They even said that. But I guess it does kind of add on to him. It was after he died, so in an alternate universe where yes, he became a zombie in his death, then yeah, that happened. But yeah, I just like how Rockstar can put out a game and then they say, "Here's the games," and then everybody says,
Here's the
I'd throw money, but I no has it yet. Why no has? You know, like everybody just wants the game. They make money because they make great games. So I'm gonna end it at that. And then, sadly, we're gonna talk about something the exact opposite of my praise for Rockstar. We're gonna talk about Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Damn.
Black
it's,
Ops.
Black Ops 2. So, I'm not really excited for this game. Obviously, I saw some footage, I think yesterday or something like that, and it kind of looked like it sucked. I mean, I saw the multiplayer gameplay, and it looked as if the gameplay just looked bad. I mean, I guess maybe it's sort of an alpha, but by as much as people have been fucking playing it and they've been showing it off at all these stupid things they set up, then I think the game's pretty much finished. I don't think they're really adding anything to it.
No, the thing
It might
is, it's always a rehash of every single game before. Like, sure, they
Yeah.
add some new things, like new kill streaks, and like just do different guns because they do different eras and
Yep.
whatever. But it's the same damn thing over and over again, and
Yeah.
it just gets really tiring. And it's like zombies are cool. That's like the one praise that I will give it is like they were the first ones to come up with the cool zombie apocalypse thing. But otherwise, it's like the only good positive thing going for that game. Except for in the older games, they had a really spectacular story. Right, they kind of like off the ball, I think, in the newest.
I think the story might be really good on this one, but I could just watch it on YouTube. I don't have to actually experience it.
I actually
Yeah.
like playing the Call of Duty stories myself, but like I know probably have to say like 90% of the people who play Call of Duty don't give a shit about the story.
Maybe even a higher percentage than that, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm actually one of
I've-
the few who do enjoy actually playing the single player campaigns though.
Yeah, I've heard people who don't even what is it called? Who now have not beaten it. Modern Warfare 3's story.
Yeah,
Like,
they're like
uh,
19th
close to-
prestige.
Yeah, close to a year later, and people still have not beat. Some people have not
It
even.
was a really
beat
good story. Game had a really good story, but just
it. I mean,
I
I
like
don't think any of them are really that good.
I liked
It was alright.
but I just feel
alright.
like
I
I
really
used to
like
be a
Black
huge
Ops
COD
story,
fanboy.
actually.
It was a good way to wrap it up, though. I'll say the last mission was actually pretty fun,
yeah.
and they wrapped up the series nicely.
I enjoyed hanging
And-
Makarov.
Yeah, that was actually pretty fucking sweet. But I guess it was sort of in this game, in Modern Warfare 3, I should say, that I actually really enjoyed. I really enjoyed how big a badass Captain Price was, and how they also, gave Soap sort of an honorable death in a way. So
He died.
he was
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
he died, but it wasn't in vain. Makarov was fucking hanged, and
Yeah, that was-
hanged.
That was
Shut
pretty
up.
sick.
Gyro, the last person I ever need to correct my speech and or spelling is fucking you. That is actually insulting. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but
But,
like as for the multiplayer aspect, I don't. After Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer, I can't say I really can honestly say I'd probably never be excited for another Call of Duty multiplayer game. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3 is actually the game that inspired me to start playing Battlefield 3. Because I used to be one of the Call of Duty fanboys that would be like, oh, Battlefield sucks, Call of Duty's best, and all that shit. And
Yeah.
after like a couple months of playing Modern Warfare 3, I got so fed up with the bad spawns, the bad hit detection, the lag compensation, all that shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give Battlefield 3 a try because I'm not ready to quit playing shooters. I still enjoy playing first-person shooters, and I was like, I'm glad I did it because now I love Battlefield 3.
Yeah. I still think you're kind of a Fruit Loop for not playing Battlefield before, but we'll get past that. I've played pretty much every Battlefield at one point in time. I've liked them all. Um, Bad Company 2 in a way is my favorite. There's something about that just felt so great. It was amazing. I think a lot of
It
people
was
agree
very
with me.
balanced.
Battlefield 3 though has fit quite. It's still up at the top of my list. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's probably my favorite only because I've got Ghost now to back me up. You know what I'm saying, dog? I got
Yeah.
Ghost,
We in the building.
Hell yeah.
son. But at the same time, if Ghost would have been say in order when Bad Company 2 was around, might have been better experience for me. So I think Battlefield 3 does a really good job of lending itself to teamwork.
Yes.
But I think Bad Company 2 might have done a slightly better job at lending itself to teamwork. So I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. But I mean, I do think it was slightly more team orientated, and it was like you could do just as well if you were without a team. But it was just a lot more fun than Battlefield 3 to play with a team.
Well, no, the
So
one thing I always remember is the graphics weren't yet on par with Call of Duty at the time, but it was the like almost total destruction of the battlefield.
yeah, that was
Oh
great.
yeah.
Real quick before we go on, we totally fucked up. We totally went on a weird topic, out of fucking talking about Black Ops 2. We just kind of went from Black Ops 2 to previous Call of Duties, from previous Call of Duties to campaigns to Eric being inspired by Battlefield. Eric, why'd you ruin everything? We were talking about Call of Duty, but somehow, well, actually, that's just how good Battlefield is. Battlefield's so good. You start talking about Call of Duty, within 8 minutes, you're fucking talking about Battlefield. So that's just an enlightenment. But really, let's try to stick on these topics, guys. Black Ops 2, the gameplay looked pretty poor. I'm gonna try and link you guys in just a second to some Black Ops 2 legit gameplay that I've seen recently. But it looked pretty lame. I mean, it was fucking lame.
Another rehash.
Yeah. The only thing, like I said earlier, the only thing I'm excited for, and I think it was Max said it too, was zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But aren't you supposed to be like fighting robots in this one, like in the campaign for this one, or something like
Yeah,
that?
just like unmanned drones is what it's gonna be.
So is it
pretty
gonna be
much.
like zombie robots? No, I'm kidding, obviously.
Wait, hold on, what?
No,
In
like
campaign? I'm pretty sure campaign is like it's robots and people. It's just the fact that you lose all control of your AI based stuff.
yeah.
But fuck campaign, who cares? Anyway,
One thing I want to say is I was talking to a GameStop store owner the other day when I was going in to look at some whatever was coming out to pre-order them and whatnot, and the guy was saying like because the GameStop people they get access to all like the preview content, the teasers and whatnot, and he was there. He was looking at Assassin's Creed 3, Call of Duty, Black Ops, and all this other stuff. And when I asked him about what game he thought was probably the worst of the ones he was talking about, he was saying that Black Ops 2 was probably the least inspiring one that he had seen, like the least one he's excited for because, like you said, it was pretty much another. From what he saw in the gameplay, it was pretty much another rehash of the other.
and it's not even that it's necessarily a rehash. It's that the gameplay literally just to me didn't look smooth. I mean, people always say Call of Duty is a rehash. I sort of disagree. I think they changed quite a bit. The gameplay's the same. I mean, Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2, very similar games. They play very differently. I enjoy them both in separate ways. Every game in a series is a rehash of the older game, but they try to improve stuff, change the era, change the pace, change the play styles. So is it a rehash? I don't think so at all. I think it's in a different time period. They've got the same core gameplay, style to it, the kill streaks and sort of the game modes, but it's quite changed. So I'm on a
Yeah.
different side of the fence on that one. I think what's disappointing to me, though, is that the kill streaks are not looking too interesting to me. Um, you know, Call of Duty in general is not that appealing to me. This one especially though, because it feels like it's a mix of Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3. I didn't
Yeah.
like Modern Warfare 3. I really liked Black Ops, but I felt they strayed away from Black Ops. Black Ops felt pretty
They've
unique.
done more with that time period, I think. Like
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted too.
the end of the Soviet Union, like around then, like in the 80s and stuff, like nearing the end, that would probably be a really cool time to.
Yeah, they had a lot of newer prototype-ish weapons coming out that sort of went into modern era, and they could have done something near like the Gulf War. That would have been kind of cool,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
I love how like everyone's view on the Cold War, how I went down in history is that there was not any really actual a battle fight a fought, but how they did it with the CIA in the game, no one's really gonna know about that anyway. So they kind of put out the perception like, hey, this could have happened. You guys don't know.
Yeah, and it was cool. So I think that the campaign for that game actually was engaging for me. And one thing I loved about Treyarch is they were really good at putting, at least in Black Ops, they did a really good job of making you think, one, could this have happened, like Eric said, and kind of, getting you really engaged. In Black Ops, I was like, man, I liked those characters. The Easter eggs too, the hidden information, the fact that you
Yeah.
could have missed something, or you may not have noticed something right, you may have misinterpreted something, the hidden messages, the conspiracy. It was great.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
I loved how they made you think Reznov was there the whole time too, and then it turns out he really
Heck
wasn't.
yeah.
Yeah, and then there was actually some sort of code or something where every mission started off with like, code name Zulu, code name, fucking whatever, Sigma,
Delta.
Alpha,
Yeah,
so there was weird code names, and then when you combine them all, they said Reznov is dead, or is he? There was no body, or something very, very close to that. I might be off on like one word there, but it kind of also implied, was Reznov really dead the whole time? Was he alive at some of those points? Was he secretly
heck?
helping you in some points? What?
Y'all not hear this?
but
What?
Somebody was playing some video. Didn't y'all hear that?
no,
No.
Oh, my bad.
I think
think it, wasn't that you, Garo?
No.
Oh, I sort of hear it in the background with Mac.
what I really liked though was how they tied together, it's just in one mission, the World at War story with the kind of the World at War story with Black Ops when you play as Reznov again. Like right at the end of World War II, when you got to go finish off the Nazis, and that's when you first find the Nova gas.
Oh yeah,
What?
play for a brief level as the Russians attacking the Nazis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I know what
and
you're talking about, yeah.
that's when you guys first find the Nova gas. I loved
Huh.
it because I got to use the
Oh
PPSH.
yeah, I'm sorry. I remember what you guys are talking about now. The Arctic one.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the British commandos and whatnot.
Yeah.
I
They
remember
come in
that.
at the end of the level. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they whooped
thought
some
that was the
ass.
coolest part because you got to like it was kind of like a bit of a flashback to World at War, and you had like all like the PPSH and the M40 and all that. It was kind of like a neat little brief
Yeah.
flashback.
Black Ops is a great game, and you know what? I actually really enjoy that. That's one of my favorite Call of Duties. I know Call of Duty 4 was up there because the campaign was pretty good. The multiplayer was super um, revamped. I mean, it was way out there, and it would change the multiplayer game big
Yeah.
time. But the thing with Infinity Ward is since then, I think they've kind of just been stuck on the train that, if they make games similar to, Call of Duty 4, people will like it. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing a bad job at it though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This video that I just watched, like, this guy's using, like, an MP7-ish type gun, like a little
You're
submachine
talking about the
gun.
Black Ops 2 multiplayer. I'll actually link this video for you guys watching the podcast. It is a Black Ops 2 multiplayer multi-team deathmatch on Hijacked. is the map's name, and multi-team deathmatch, from what I understand, is where there's, I think, 3 teams. There might even be possibly 4 in some game modes, but it's just team deathmatch with more than one team, which that's super, super crazy, man. Whoa, dude, totally changed the game.
Halo's never done
We
that.
added another team. Whoa. I'm just saying, that's not that cool of a game mode in my eyes. It's kind of seemed aight, but nothing too crazy. But I'll link it to you guys in the description so you can see it. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah.
I do think Treyarch actually tries harder with their games than Infinity Ward does. I think Infinity Ward's pretty much taken up the idea that as long as it has the Call of Duty name on it, people are going to buy it, and it doesn't matter whether they take care of their game after release or not. Which, from what I can see, they don't. But Treyarch, I've noticed, actually does a little bit of a better job of patching, fixing overpowered weapons and whatnot after releasing the game.
Yeah, Infinity Ward does not so great a job. Treyarch does. I didn't like World at War. I thought it was total jock of Call of Duty 4, but with World War.
I liked World
World War
War.
II
That one's my favorite.
weapons. I thought it sucked. I don't think it was that good. I think it was the same thing as Call of Duty 4. You had the same kill streak layout. You had the same everything. I think what Infinity Ward does, in my eyes at least, is they make an original game. Like Modern Warfare 2 was also pretty original,
Yeah.
but they fucked it up still. They just kind of didn't make it as good as they should have. So what I felt Treyarch has always tried to do, is I think people don't understand that Treyarch kind of has it easier because they come out a year after the original, the first Call of Duty fucks up. So I think Infinity Ward came out with Call of Duty 4. Treyarch was like, all right, how do we make this better? I don't know. Then they kind of just made the same game, but in World War II.
What I did like about that is that there was actually a little bit of like animation to the body parts, like when you would shoot them with
the arms would fly off.
You see that.
And you can like blow your legs off and stuff.
That was actually kind of neat to add in there. But like games now, you see people like crumple over, and it's still dead, but it's like
you know what I remember too? Treyarch got really ballsy with that one too, because I remember they put tanks in some game modes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On the bigger maps, they put tanks, but not on hardcore. They took them out because they were OP.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It just feels like one thing that always gets me about Call of Duty in them is they'll put out a game and they won't patch it. Like they don't care at all after they put it out and got their money out of it.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, but I think Treyarch has it slightly easier just because they get to basically fix all the problems with the game that comes out before it.
Yeah.
So like with Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2 had a lot of original ideas that people still, I don't know if people still take all those ideas into consideration. But then Black Ops takes the same exact ideas and then slightly improves upon them. And Black Ops is better, but I mean, they had it easy. If Treyarch had to come out with all these original type games, it might be more difficult for them. Infinity Ward might have it easier. Infinity Ward can look at the previous game and say, all right, they came up with a bunch of new ideas. Let's slightly change the game to make it better. Because the difference between Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops was not that huge. The era, Treyarch really likes they like going in totally new directions versus the modern theme.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, let's put it in something we haven't done. Nobody likes World War II anymore. Let's go back to
the Civil War. I'm kidding.
Shut the fuck up. The Cold War. Well, we're talking about Black Ops. How did you get the fucking Civil War out of that? How uneducated are you?
He's thinking about Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just revolutionary.
Yeah.
That's so we go to, we go to frick, I'm drawing blank, man. Anyway, you go to the Cold War. And
there's a lot of history to go around there.
Yeah, and there was a lot of conspiracy, which kind of fits Treyarch's mentality with their games. They go for a lot of conspiracy and hidden type, thought-provoking stuff in a lot of their, and there are a lot of their stories and whatnot. But I think with the Cold War thing, they went in a good direction, but they also improved on a lot of Modern Warfare 2 stuff, and they have it a little easier in my opinion. But let's end the Call of Duty subject here, and we're gonna quickly go over some few other topics that aren't a whole lot of big. We're actually going on an hour here, guys. So this is slightly longer than our last podcast. It's gonna be an hour in right now. Okay, so
Good
it's
call.
it's gonna be longer than our last podcast by maybe 15 minutes or so. Who knows? Depends how long we decide to go with this. But real quick, we've got War Z. Um, you guys don't know about this, do you? Not at all?
I have no idea
Nope.
what that is.
War Z is a rip of DayZ. DayZ, I'm assuming you guys know about, correct?
No.
Yeah, I do.
I think we talked about it on last week's podcast a bit, which is DayZ coming out on consoles, blah, 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 possibly. DayZ, Mac, and for all those who don't know in the audience, DayZ is a game, it's a zombie game. That's the Z.
Excellent
Um,
zombie games.
what?
I said
You hate?
excellent. I like zombie games.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you hate them. I was like, you fucking stupid. Zombie games are, um, yeah, they're great. But anyway, DayZ is a great game because it sort of captures this realistic feel and that, you know, you've got zombies to be afraid of, but at the same time, it catches the, you know, man is man's greatest enemy still
Yeah.
type feeling, where even in this, world full of zombies and there's very few survivors left, and it's hard to survive, you've still got your greatest enemy in the game is still people.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to survive, and they want to survive as luxurious as they can. And even if that means killing other people to get to that point, they're willing to do it. So what you do in this game is, you spawn in with basically nothing. This map is huge. I think it's like 10 miles by 10 miles.
Wow.
So I think it's 16 kilometers, and 16 kilometers, a kilometer is 1.6 miles. No, sorry, a mile is 1.6 kilometers. So I'm actually pretty sure I'm accurate on that miles. It's 10 miles by 10 mile map. It's big as hell. And you just walk it basically. So you go from city to city trying to find better loot, and while you're doing this, other people are doing the same thing. Now, other people will kill you to try and get your better stuff, and there's really no reason to kill anybody in a way, but it's the fun aspect of the game. Some people kill people just to kill people because they find it fun to fuck with people, and some people kill because they want better supplies. Some people kill because they don't want to be killed. That's probably what 50% of the people do is they kill because they don't want to be killed. So
Mhm.
everybody's trying to survive, but everybody has a different plan for it. 80% of their plan is killing other people so they can do better themselves, whether it be defending themselves, making sure they don't get killed, trying to get better stuff, or doing it just to be assholes. You're going to get shot by other people. And you've also got to worry about sickness, food, water.
Limbs can break.
Yeah, limbs and stuff can break, and other zombies, obviously. Or, sorry, not other zombies. You're not a zombie. And zombies in general to worry about. So, very fun. You should check out some gameplay. I might actually do my best here to link some DayZ gameplay for those who don't know what it is as well. Very cool looking game. It's PC mod for Arma 2, and Arma 2 is one of the most realistic games out there, military wise. But it's a cool game, and it's going to have a standalone coming out here soon. So War Z is a complete jock of that. I'm not looking forward to it because in this trailer they show for War Z, which is a lot, even the name is fucking similar as hell, right?
Yeah.
They're claiming, though, that DayZ hadn't even been announced or anything like that during the production or the start of production for War Z. I just think it's really crazy how the name is so similar, and nobody heard about War Z until after DayZ had came out.
Yeah, I didn't even heard of it up until just right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, what War Z is a very similar setting. It's a lot like DayZ. The only difference is War Z will, I believe, definitely be on consoles on release. Um, and I'll actually link you guys to some footage of it. The reason I'm not a huge fan is because right in this trailer, and I'll actually definitely be linking this for the viewers of the podcast. The trailer, first thing they do is they show a guy with like a fucking tactical light, ACR looking weapon with like a red dot, and he's fucking rocking some sweet shit. And the reason DayZ is so great is because you have to basically go around. You kind of Eric
now.
Mama, I can't go. I'm in the middle of something, Mama. Mama, let me tell you, Mama, I got shit to do, Mama. All right, what's up, guys? I'm back. Anyway, no, um, Eric might have to fly out of here. Who knows? But
No, I'm good.
all right, cool. So I linked you guys a trailer in the Skype chat. Um, but the cool thing about DayZ is that you get out there and you know you're immediately scavenging. This game, I feel like it doesn't give that feel already. They're showing me a trailer where this guy has a pimped out assault rifle. And it's silenced too. It's silenced, so zombies can't even hear him when he shoots. In DayZ, people play like 20 hours in one life to try and get like a suppressed pistol so zombies don't notice them when they enter a room and try to find some loot, like food or something. And in DayZ, you're scavenging for everything. You start out with nothing. You find a pistol maybe. Then you got to find some ammo for that pistol. Then you got to find a rifle. Then you got to find some ammo for that rifle. And then you got to find, like maybe an M16. Then you start finding some bigger stuff. Then you find some cooler shit. Then you get shot and you have to start over. So
And then you find the cure. I'm kidding. There's no cure.
yeah, there isn't. Anyway, so DayZ's difficult. It's grinding. It's a little bit, it wears on you mentally, I'm sure, a little bit. I haven't actually played it. I've seen a lot of gameplay, really enjoy a lot of it. There's actually a guy I'm going to mention right now, a commentator named JackFrags. I'm sure somebody in the audience and some of you guys have probably seen some of JackFrags' videos.
I've heard the name around
He's
YouTube.
Huge Battlefield player, enormous, super, super talented Battlefield player. He's a really good tactician and whatnot. He posts Battlefield commentaries. He's actually playing a bit of DayZ now. He's got some really good DayZ videos. If you want to check him out, I'll link him in the description because he's a great commentator. And he's actually one of the 10 or so people that have the DICE approved dog tag because he is the winner, I think, of almost both. Maybe he's not the first one, but I'm pretty sure he's won the second only in Battlefield video challenge. He is it's weird because he doesn't have all this fancy stuff that some of these guys got, but I don't know, maybe he does. But he's a great player, and he's a really good guy. He's from England. He's got that cool ass accent. Friendly guy, makes great Battlefield videos. Check him out. But he's been playing DayZ. I've been watching some of it, and it was really great to watch. It was like exciting to watch this. They're going through a lot of really interesting situations and whatnot. And in Warzy, first impression I got was you can get all this dope shit, and it just makes the zombie aspect of the game easy. And the zombie aspect of the game, it is easy. But I feel like it's going to make player interactions sort of like first-person shooter-like.
Yeah.
I don't want a Battlefield 3 or Call of Duty with zombies thrown in the mix. That's not what I want. I want a game where, I see somebody from 150 meters away, I immediately fucking go prone. I think, do I have any friends with me? Yeah, I got, Eric, Mac, and Garo. We're all four sitting here. All right, what's the best? Yeah, we're all prone now. We're thinking, does this guy have anybody with him? Does this guy, is he a threat? All of a sudden we see a helicopter flying. We're like, oh shit, he's got buddies. Maybe he's looking for something, and his buddies are following in the helicopter. If we shoot, will the guys in the helicopter know? Will he know where we are? You don't think about that. I don't. You just run up and shoot him. It's boring. So it depends on what Warzy releases in their next trailers. But I think what they need to do is, if the game is what I think it is, which is like a Call of Duty type thing with zombies in it, sort of, I want the player interaction to be grinding and good, and to kind of give that sense of fear in it almost. And if it doesn't do that, then I'll be slightly disappointed.
Yeah, like I said, we already got well, like you said, a Call of Duty type zombies. Well, we already got Call of Duty zombies on the way. 2 months out, so or 1 month
Something like
now.
that.
Yeah, I was just agreeing with your point that that's not really something people would be interested in, seeing as how, like I said, we got it on the way already, and I agree that more of a DayZ type feel would be a better route to go.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the trailer yet that I linked on the Skype chat? If you haven't,
Watching it, and it was like I'm guessing just it's probably the state that guy's at is probably a very advanced level to have.
yeah,
it's-
they want to show it off for sure. But the
This-
point is in DayZ, you can't even get to that level, dude. What you want in DayZ is to stay away from people and be silent and away from the action. That's what you want. You want like an AS-50 or an M107 50 caliber sniper. That's what you want. You want to be high-powered sniper in the tree line, way away from zombies and people. And you see somebody, you want something, they're near it, you kill them, you take it very quietly as to not get shot yourself, because you die quick in DayZ. And in WarZ, I mean, did you really get that feel that there was that sort of desperation, that survival instinct in it? When I saw it,
I'm
Like,
watching
Says
the
it's on a
trailer.
Flashlight.
I'm watching the trailer right now, and I just seen a guy point a flashlight directly at a zombie, and it didn't even notice him.
Yeah, I just watched that exactly happen.
What
He
the
shoots
hell
his
is
head
that
off.
about?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's like daytime too. Like, why are you using flashlight, bro?
yeah,
it's like completely dark out. Wait till he gets to the end of the video when he he turns off his gun, he switches to a pistol, and it's like pitch black. That's why he has the flashlight.
This game looks like it'd be pretty fun to play like with homies.
But yeah, but like from what I just saw right there, obviously you can't judge a book by its cover.
I don't know about that.
But the thing is that what we
Oh, I don't know about that.
the thing the we only saw like a 2 minute section of the video, so obviously someone's not gonna go
4.
hungry in 2 minutes of
4.
wandering around a wasteland.
That was 4 minutes.
4 minutes, sorry. So, but like in reality, like obviously we're not gonna get a real sense of that desperation from seeing it such a short clip. And from what I saw, like it looked kind of like eerie, but it seems as if like the whole time he was like super, super cautious. And now I can understand like that's the mentality you would have if there was an actual zombie apocalypse. But there's a certain point when a game gets like I would say too realistic. That's when it's not as fun.
Not true.
So I think it'd be awesome. when
Impossible.
it's- Like I think
You've never
when it-
seen Arma.
Yeah.
Look up Arma 2 someday. Not right now. We're podcasting. But
I think the more realistic this game will be, especially because it's from the Arma type deal, the better. Like I think the more cautious you have to be, the more fun you're gonna have out of it whenever you do get killed or whatever. Actually,
yeah, and I mean
Chased by
that
a
thought,
horde of zombies.
and you lose everything if you die in DayZ, and that's what makes it really.
yeah, that's what makes people.
That's what makes
be
you want to
alive.
survive.
Yeah.
It's you've got something to lose. You know, in a lot of games, you die, it's a stat on the leaderboard.
Yeah,
In
that's
this game, you lose everything you have. You respawn maybe 5 miles away with nothing. You got to start this process all over again. It's like imagine you're playing Battlefield, and if you get killed, you get reset to rank 1,
yeah.
or you get
I wish
you get
Red Dead
you get
Redemption
set
was like
back a
that.
kernel every time you die. That's an incentive. That would make everybody cower in fear of
Oh yeah,
dying.
for sure.
Everyone
So-
was a sniper then.
Well, fuck, man, I'd be Colonel 100, 1,560 if everybody's sniping. I got the sniping game locked down, son.
Yeah, right.
I'd
I'm
be
kidding.
fucked.
Yeah.
I'd be fucked. He knows it right off the bat.
Mac
But,
wouldn't. He just played close quarters.
I just linked you guys to some DayZ footage that I had recently seen by the guys talking about JackFrags.
Freaking zombie.
So that watch that WarZ footage, Mac. See what you got your opinions on it. Watch that DayZ footage. That's some good footage right there, DayZ, and it captures DayZ very well, I believe. So while you're watching that, Mac, we'll touch back a base on WarZ a little bit once you've seen it. But for now, we're gonna move on quickly to a few topics. These are just gonna be like 5-minute topics here. We're gonna talk about the Wii U real quick. Thoughts and concerns, more like it.
Concerns
Not-
about what?
The Wii U. Talking about
Oh.
the Wii U, son.
Nah,
Give an education.
not really too interested
that.
myself.
Yeah, me neither. I think it's gonna suck. I think it's gonna suck.
I never got into like the Wii original, so
Well, I've seen it, and apparently it's got some really solid like game graphics and whatnot. My problem is will the games actually be good? You know, there's something called ZombiU, which is supposed to be their big hit. Hopefully, I'll be able to link you guys to some ZombiU footage um, in the Skype call and to our audience, of course. And it looks alright. I mean, it's different pace than Discovery Land, Animal Palace Place, Chuck E. Cheese that they usually release.
with go-karts.
So that the second link in the link I just gave you in the chat was some ZombiU footage, but it looks alright. But I mean, if they're only gonna release one good game for it, then I don't really care. And it's certainly gonna be expensive as hell. I think it's $350, something like that, for like the low end version. That's expensive as fuck. I just don't
this
think
guy's
there's
watching
gonna be.
someone getting eaten on this DayZ. Sorry, but that was crazy.
I think the Wii U is going to be good for the people who are like not hardcore gamers,
Mhm.
and people who want for more like family gaming and stuff like that. Just like the Wii was. I noticed that like hearing about it and seeing things about it, they actually try to gear it towards more serious gamers. 'Cause that's who they're trying to pull in. That's where the big money's at.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, not too interested in it myself, but I think they really messed up on the release date because it's going to be relevant for about a year before Sony and Microsoft drop their new consoles, and then that thing's going to go on
And
the
then they
back.
just blow it out
Yeah,
the fucking water.
the Wii U is going to be put on the back shelf, and no one's really going to care about it after that.
Yeah. I mean, they better early than later. Sooner.
Yeah.
Fucking early than later. Sooner than later. Because yeah, I mean, they're gonna get beat out of the water by Sony and Microsoft anyway. Their only hope is that if they would have released this a year ago, it might have been a better idea. Because
Yeah.
then people would have had a long time before the next console. Right now is sort of the dead time for console. If they were released it, 2 years ago, maybe like a few months after Call of Duty or something, they would have had a chance. But right now, I feel like they're getting so close to the next consoles that everybody's looking, that's hardcore at least, is looking forward to hearing more about the new consoles than the Wii U. The new Xbox, the new PS3. And it's funny because I'm mentioning new consoles, but I'm talking about the Xbox and PlayStation rather than the Wii U. Because in my mind, the Wii U isn't in this next generation of consoles. It's sort of a novelty in between.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're really gonna do all that hot. So moving on to some more media related stuff, gonna go over the iPhone 5 real quick. I thought that was kind of a flop. I'm sure they made quadrillions, zillions of dollars on it, but that thing sucks. It's the same thing as the 4.
Dude,
Oh,
I
yeah.
totally agree.
So, Mac, you still alive? You watching that footage still? Come on, talk to us, man.
AFK.
Well, yeah. I think the iPhone 5 is it's quite interesting.
I was watching the video.
I actually bought 7 myself.
I think it's either iPhone 3 or 4 or something. I still have it because it's like a 2-year contract.
Personal
But it's
phone.
like I've seen the people have the iPhone 4 and there's no difference. And the iPhone 5, from what I can tell from you guys, doesn't seem a lot different at all. They just add a few little doohickeys and whatnot, and it doesn't really change much. It's just trying to get more money out of the people. That's all.
Yeah, if you want to move a little closer to your mic so we can hear you just a tad bit better.
Yeah.
But
It's the same thing rehashed like all over again.
Yeah, we caught that.
Add-ons. That's it.
I don't even know. I don't even have a smartphone. My phone's ghetto as hell.
Yeah.
You got a
But I
dumb
mean,
phone.
I can call and I can text with it, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah. For certain. So that's our quick opinions on the iPhone 5. We also gonna talk on or touch on Resident Evil 6, I guess. I'm not really looking forward to talking about this. I've never really liked Resident Evil. But Eric has recently played the demo, I believe.
Yeah.
He said it sucked. No
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, anyway, I know there's a lot of the newer Resident Evil fans who just came in on like Resident Evil 5 who are gonna be like, oh yeah,
That
this
movie
game's
came out.
so awesome. But I started playing Resident Evil from the first one, like the very first Resident
Yeah,
Evil on PlayStation,
Hipster.
I heard that one
And-
was good.
I got used to the style of gameplay was actually survival horror, where you had to conserve your ammo. When if you seen a zombie, you see, well, can I run past it without getting damaged, or do I need to
Mhm.
waste the bullets to get past it? With
I've heard it explained exactly the same way, where it's like, do I try and like knife it or beat it with something or run past it or go a completely different way, or like where you almost had to think about every engagement and like ammo, like
yeah,
finding ammo was like finding
it was a rare thing.
a girl who was DTF on the first date. It was like rare as hell, dude. It was gold.
Yeah,
Well,
and
with me, they're all DTF on the first date, but I mean, you know what I'm saying.
It's because
it
she
it
barely
actually
black.
put fear into you, like what I believe survival horrors are supposed to do, and
Yep.
it made you think about your strategy while going through the game. Like I said, I wasn't really a big fan of Resident Evil 5 either, and
Yeah, because didn't all the zombies like drop ammo,
Yeah,
so there's like
yeah, and they all
there's no
had
survival to it.
Well, I had
yeah,
it with a friend of mine because at home, like he has PS3, I have Xbox, so we can't really play stuff on the internet. So we play like, local co-op games, and that was one of the only ones that was really around to play. So we would play that, and I'm like, really zombies with guns? Like what the hell is this shit? It was
There were
still
zombies with
okay,
guns.
but
yeah.
it was
That's kind of dumb.
It
it was.
is really
But actually there's a certain part in the campaign of the story where you actually got to fight like actual real zombies. And I remember from the first Resident Evil movie with they had those like the liquor thing that attacked them on the train at the end. There was like
dumb.
one
Yeah,
campaign there was like dozens of those, and it was the scariest like creepiest shit of the whole section because like they were crawling all over the walls. They'd like walk past this pen full of them.
oh yeah, I know what part you're talking about. Um,
Oh my god.
dude, if you would have been around, like if you would have played Resident Evil 2, would actually be a better example for it. Um, like that scene in Resident Evil 5 would have been nothing to you if you would have seen the lickers in Resident Evil 2. Like, because plus like they give you a partner, and you can't really. I mean, you don't just die straight away. Like you, even if you go down to, I mean, I think it's like 25% health. They always give you the option to be revived. So like, there's not really a fear of dying. You have a partner. You have an oversupply of ammo, in my opinion, and just it seems like they tried to pull in more like Call of Duty fans with the franchise, like the direction
Oh,
they're
hold
taking
on,
it.
hold on. I'm not gonna insult the people who play and be like pulling Call of Duty fans. I think they were trying to pull in everybody. They were trying to pull in people who just liked zombies in general. Because I'm not gonna go to as far as to say that anybody who likes fast action or something like that likes Call of Duty. That's not necessarily true. I think what they tried to do is, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but uh, they tried to pull in everybody. The people who just because you got that survival horror game. Not everybody wants to spend their 10 minutes trying to figure out their way around four zombies. Sometimes you want to just get in there and be like, bitch, please, and hit them in the face with a shotgun.
Yeah, and like I'm not
So
saying that it's not fun in its own aspect. I mean,
yeah,
I love killing zombies, but it's just that this what's what I got used to coming from the Resident Evil name, and it seems like they just completely abandoned what made them popular and built them this fan base in the first place.
yeah.
But but the Resident Evil 6 demo, which what we were talking about, there's actually three separate stories that they intertwine throughout the game. But the only one I found really interesting was Leon's story because that's the only one you're actually fighting actual zombies who don't carry guns. And it's at night times. Like most Resident Evil games were set, and the recent ones they had you play in the daytime too. But this one's at night. You're in a town, small in buildings, close quarters, alleyways. Things can jump out at you.
hmm
There's two things that I just still don't like about it. One, you have a partner, and two, they actually put in a dedicated melee button in this game. So and from what I can see from the demo, it's extremely overpowered. Like you can punch a zombie twice and it'll die. So that's the
It
biggest problem
takes
I
it
have with
takes out
that.
of the survival aspect of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't even have to fire your gun if you don't want to.
yeah. So that's our quick, touch on Resident Evil 6. We've been talking about the zombies a lot tonight, so we're gonna move into the Walking Dead video game, sort of arcade thing. I have not played it. Eric, somehow, I'm pretty sure Eric is a hacker or he's a thief and he somehow steals thousands and thousands of Microsoft points. He probably has some sort of generator, which he'll have to tell me about after the show. But that's actually probably what it is. You have a fucking code generator, somebody that works for Microsoft or something. You clever son of a bitch. This guy gets tons of Microsoft points. I don't really know how, so he'll have to reveal his secret one of these days. But I'm sure you've played it, right, Eric?
Yeah, I actually have beaten all three
Yeah.
of the current episodes that are out right now,
Yeah.
and
So
it's a really good game in my opinion. I really enjoy it.
yeah.
Is it
So
Dead Island? I haven't seen anything about.
no, you know what the Walking Dead show is, correct?
Oh yeah,
Mac?
yeah.
Yeah. So what they did is they got the original like comic book version, sort of, and they sort of changed it around quite a bit. And you're playing like a comic book like version of the Walking Dead TV show, but it's got like totally different characters in I think a similar location, and they are trying to survive. And you
Yeah,
go through these people's story, and it's not really based off of action or combat at all. What it is that the story is really really engaging, and
yeah,
I'll try and there's not a whole lot of footage I can link. The footage for the game can be slightly boring. The game, if you were watching the game, some points of it aren't that interesting.
yeah. If you're not
But
playing it yourself, then some parts can get a little boring.
so I'm not gonna link any footage to this. But if any of you guys, including the guys in the call, want to check out some more of the Walking Dead game, for one, it's like $5 an episode, and there's like 5 episodes in total, and it's on the Xbox Live Marketplace, probably the PlayStation Marketplace, and Steam, I believe, as well. So there's a lot of places to get the game. Um,
Yeah, and
it's
three
really good.
3 episodes are out right now and available for purchase. I believe the next one, episode 4, is coming in October.
Yeah, it's coming very soon.
And
They said they're releasing an episode a month.
yeah, and they say that, but they've said that since the beginning. But from what I've seen so far, it's been about every 2 months.
I think it was within a month the first, or it was like within a month the first time, and then they waited like 2 months, and then they released the third. Like they've been like a few weeks behind on each one. So I think it takes a while though to make them. I'm sure. I think they're making them kind of on the fly, based on how people respond to the decisions and feedback they get from the game.
Yeah,
What was that?
and
Anybody hear that?
Yeah, it was
no,
mute section for like 10 seconds or 5 seconds.
Oh, okay.
um,
Um,
I actually don't mind the extra time it takes because I think they're making a really good game.
yeah, I don't think anybody does necessarily, but
One thing I could say too is like I personally have never seen an episode of the Walking Dead TV show, nor have I read the comics. But
same.
I mean, I love the game. So if you're kind of skeptical, you've never seen the TV show, but the game's awesome. Like I said, this is coming from me, and I've never seen an episode of the TV show, but I love the game. So if you're thinking about it, I would highly recommend the game. It's really good in my opinion.
Yeah, and I've watched. I actually haven't bought the game at all. It'd be a game. It's a game that certainly, you'd make one of. There's a lot of important decisions, and it's
Yeah,
cool to kind of play in your way and make every decision you're on your own and see what your outcome is. Because making one slight decision can, I think, greatly change the outcome. Sort of on some of the decisions, it greatly changes the outcome. Um, but you can watch some footage of it, see how you like it. Um, every episode it seems to get slightly better, and I don't want to spoil it because it's still a pretty new game, but it is very detailed. There's like some fucking really like disgusting and engaging stuff that goes on, and it's really good. It is
yeah,
really good. The gameplay, again, it's mainly like you kind of just like I think use the controller to like kind of choose where you walk in a way. Like it's really weird. The
yeah.
control.
You can control your character, but it's you can move them around the areas and stuff like that. But it's more of a point and click. Like
Exactly.
you use your right stick to move. You have a little cursor on screen, and you move it around and it focus on certain objects that you might need to pick up, or there's
Yeah.
like yeah, stuff like that.
So I mean, yeah, like you said, there's a good way to explain it. It's a point and click game where you move the little cursor you have on your screen and you highlight something, you move to it, you do that, interact with it, whatever. But it's really cool to play the game and make all these cool decisions, and it's sort of uh, it's really really good. It's hard to explain too much without spoiling some of it, but I mean I'm pretty sure there's some sort of season pass where you can pay like $15 or $20 and get all 5 episodes, but individually they're like $5 a piece.
Yeah,
So you
there.
save a bit if you try and pay ahead and get all the episodes, but they seem like they're getting better and better, and they're really good. So I mean, even though I don't have it yet, I don't, it's hard to be, it's hard to be a man up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So I can't afford to get all these Microsoft points, like all these other motherfuckers. I got real problems to deal with, not all these first world problems. Had a motherfucker tell me yesterday, "Oh man, I left my iPad upstairs." Fuck your iPad, bitch. I don't know what an iPad looks like. No, I don't know. First world problems. But if you don't want to buy it, then you're probably a fool, because I do. And I'm picky, so looks great. If you can get it, certainly would recommend it as well. I've watched a lot of the episodes, and just watching them, like I'll watch one episode on YouTube and then I'll have to see like all the rest of the episode. So I've watched them all, and seeing them all, the people make decisions that I wouldn't make kind of annoys me. So I'll spend like a whole day searching for somebody who makes decisions that I would make, and that's how engaging the game is. You want to see it unfold in ways that somebody else may not want to see it. So definitely recommend getting the game. Really good looking, um, and I think a lot of people would greatly enjoy it. Um, but for now, that's our podcast. Actually, we've gone to an hour and 33 minutes, guys. When you think of that, it's even longer than our last episode.
Because I'm.
Yeah, I mean, you guys want to go a little bit longer? Wrap it up at 2 hours? Go to like 10 more minutes? Wrap it up at an hour 45?
I just had like one more thing to say about
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Walking Dead. They're actually planning to release all 5 episodes, like after they've all come out on the marketplaces for whatever console you're on. And I'm not sure how long we're afterwards, but they're planning on releasing all 5 episodes separately on a disc. I mean, yeah, separately from the marketplace. Like they're gonna put all 5 episodes on a disc and put it in stores for you to purchase.
That might be cool. That'll be cool because it'll get a lot more people, I think, attracted to the game. But check out the game on your own, guys. You'll love it. The little marketplace editions. I'm assuming it'd probably be better in a way to get it on the marketplace, just because you get a lot sooner. Because you get the episodes as soon as they come out. After they all come out, it's still probably going to take maybe 3-4 months to get them on disc. Um, so I mean, if you wanted to wait until they all come out at once, that could be a good idea. But you can also just wait till all the fifth episode releases on the marketplace and then get all 5 at once, or get that like season pass thingy. Um, so that's that's gonna be our conclusion on Walking Dead here, right, guys?
Yeah.
Anybody want to talk a little bit more about it?
I wanted to add, this is completely different. This is a computer thing. I'm
Yeah.
a RTS fan, real-time
Oh
strategy,
yeah.
and
Hmm?
I have a Mac. Don't ask me why. I just do. Mac has a,
His name is Mac.
yes, Mac has
That's
a,
why. It
uh-huh.
was enticing.
And there's this new game. Well, not actually. The game itself isn't new, but it's Empire Total War, and
Fucking nerd.
they they just released it for the Mac, and so that it can work properly instead of having to do boot camp, which is basically half of your computer becomes Windows. Um, and basically, I've always been a fan. And I'm a history major for you guys who don't know. And
Worthless.
shut up, okay? And honestly, this deals with a lot of aspects of history, and
What was
I'm
that?
really excited because I love more detailed like RTS games where you can have massive armies having at each other. And they've even like the Empire Total War. If you guys aren't familiar with the newer versions, like they've added in naval battles, so you can have actual like fleet engagements. And like they have all this realistic stuff. Like if your troops get routed because they lose morale and all this other stuff. Look into it.
Oh,
It's a really fun game. There's newer versions like Napoleon Total War. I think is the newest
goodness.
one. It's obviously about the Napoleonic era.
Oh my god, this is so lame.
Massive amounts of troops and
So lame.
about hey It looks cool, all right?
So fucking lame.
I think the newest one
Anyway,
is
we're talking
Shogun
to
2,
Battlefield
isn't it?
people. Nobody has this on Well, I guess some of our audience might have it on PC, but Jesus Christ, most of these people are probably console people. They don't give a damn about a fucking RTS game. Let's move on. This shit cray. This shit. Basically, he's saying new RTS, Empire Total War, a sequel to it. It sounds all right if you're into RTSs, real-time strategies, right?
Yes.
Isn't that yeah. So if you're into that, they've released it on the Macintosh piece of poops as well.
You can get it
So
from the App Store.
you can get it through the App Store. So if you're interested in some real-time shooters, I know that the last time real-time shooter I played, I think I mentioned this before to you guys, not on a podcast, was Rise of Nations. I don't know if you guys.
Yes. I love
Did you
that
guys?
game. I used to have it.
That was
Um,
fucking sick. I'm not gonna lie. That was a sick ass game. You went from like Stone Age all the way up to like
Modern.
completely modern times, and it was cool because I don't know. Did you play Age of Empires?
Yes, yeah, I did.
Age of Empires was amazing. I love 2. 3, not so much. 2 was great.
I like the expansions to 2. Those were fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the expansion. I got the full pack for 2.
Yeah.
'Cause I think the original 2 sucked ass, and then like
It would be cheap, and I would just make like a giant Teutonic Knight horde. It's like my entire army just be Teutonic Knights, and they would just like
oh man,
tank you.
oh I know dude, it's so cool man. I tell you when I got my Teutonic place here, and I got
Yeah,
me.
but remember
Oh
that.
my god, my Teutonic Knights were so cool, dude, man. Oh my god, Teutonic Knights for days, man. Teutonic Knights for days. Anyway, I did actually like that game a lot. It was really cool. Age of Empires 2 is probably my favorite RTS, but Rise of Nations was very cool as well. I love being the Americans and then like building up my military
Yeah.
and just getting like a ton of like all I'd get was like Abrams tanks and bombers, some jets, and a ton, like a fucking shit ton of Marines. You got the U.S. Marines, fucking super sweet. Only thing that would have made it better is having like Navy SEALs.
No, I would. You could if you
Sweet.
did custom battles, you could limit the ages of that you played into, so you could play from
Uh-huh.
the stone,
Yeah.
like the industrial or whatever. That's what I would do. Like it was like the Napoleonic era. That's my favorite era in history. I
Yeah.
would just play up to that point and just have massive gun lines because they all do the formations already built into the soldiers and stuff, and so you just have these giant lines of soldiers having at each other. Is that
God, we need to change topics because this sounds so fucking nerdy. Nobody wants to talk about this shit. Probably just fucking everybody was like, all right, podcast basically ended now. Clicking away like 5 minutes ago. As soon as we started talking about this. Um, was there anything else you guys want to talk about? I feel like we've gone on quite a bit with the podcast this week. I think it's going well. I think it's going well.
I just remembered something I wanted to mention real quick. It won't take more than like 2 minutes.
All right.
But
What is it?
if there are any Resident Evil fans in the audience still listening and interested, I do know I heard a rumor that Capcom is planning on making an HD remake of Resident Evil 2. So you might want to look into that, find some information on the internet. But yeah. That's all I had to say about that.
Mac, I know you just told me in the Skype chat not to, but let's talk about for like 5 more minutes here. We'll end it at the podcast at 1:45. Borderlands 2. We talked actually a little bit about this last week, Mike or Mac. But yeah, Mac, you didn't fucking listen to the podcast?
not the entirety of it. It's so long.
Well, you're getting an hour and 45-minute long podcast here. What the fuck you expect? Not everybody's gonna listen to it all the way through, but everybody should. I hope they are. But we're gonna end it in 5 minutes here, so don't worry for anybody who's listening. Still, Borderlands 2. Mac has played it. I don't think anybody else on the call has.
Nope.
Mac, opinions from the changes in Borderlands to Borderlands 2. Kind of sum up Borderlands 2, your opinions on what was, improved and whatnot, and your overall review of it real quick. Try to do it within 2 minutes or so.
Yeah, they've obviously added a couple new characters. They have they're pretty much the same classes as the last game. If you guys are familiar with the people listening, but the thing that I especially like, I've just starting to get to where the game is getting good. Like obviously at the low levels, you don't have anything unlocked, but as you get to the higher levels, I've started to find like really crazy weapons, especially grenades. Surprisingly, there's this one weapon that basically you throw, and it bounces along and homes in on a target, and when it hits that target, it breaks into several smaller grenades. Does initial explosion, makes like 5 other smaller grenades that detonate. But instead of doing like a regular explosion with like fire or whatever, it makes like multiple wormholes that gravitate and suck in all nearby like enemies and
That's
make
obviously OP.
and but it's not the trade off is that it's very low damage, but it like forces all the guys in a very limited radius to all be sucked in and get blown
Yeah.
into the small area. But it's really cool to see because like the cool thing about being the game being made of crayons, as some people like to comment,
Mhm.
Game of crayons.
you can
Yeah, that game was made with crayons, yo.
Comic book.
it can do a lot of crazy stuff that with like colors and make the guns and everything look really crazy and have these weird styles. So it's I would say it's fun just to smash out and like have fun with friends like going around shit. But it actually the color and the visual aspect of the game actually makes it kind of neat and different from most games because it does look so fake and it does look like cartoonish. But because it does look like that, it makes it, well, I guess you could say more visually exciting because it just looks
Yeah.
cool.
So, your quick review, one from 1 to 10, whatever.
So far I actually haven't beat it, so I had to say just at the moment an 8.5.
All right,
Not bad.
not bad. That's not bad. Now, if you haven't played the first Borderlands, would you recommend getting it?
Yeah, it barely they kind of interweave the story, but there's not really a story that really goes along with it. Mostly it's just
Yeah.
going around shooting stuff. But they
Standalone.
kind of, but they do interweave the story from the previous game.
Yeah.
Did this?
Don't go into it too much, but I've heard it like something about Roland, like
Yeah,
the black assault guy.
you basically re-meet all of the characters from the first game.
Yeah.
They're interactable characters. They give you missions and stuff, and they help you out at some points.
Yeah.
But it's mostly
Standalone.
No spoilers.
your 4 new characters who come in, and you work with the old 4 characters to help beat this bad guy who tricked
Yeah.
the last game, whatever. So
So, real quick, that'll be the end of our topics for the evening. This is really long. If you could do us a favor, and I'll put like some sort of thing on this, annotate it maybe at the beginning of the video. Please listen to the whole thing, even if you come back, you know, a day later after listening to the first half of the podcast. We'd appreciate it if you listen to the whole thing, and that's why we make it as long as it is. But that's going to be at the end of the Reprimanded Podcast. I'll have a link to the platoon that we're all members of, and I am the leader of, Ghost. I'll link that in the description as well as all the other stuff. You'll be able to find me, Mac, Harley, and Eric there. Um, so you guys ever want to talk to us on Xbox or something like that, then feel free to do so. You can just add us there. I'm close to 100 friends on Xbox Live because I'm so cool. So I might not be able to add all these people if they do want to be my friends. But you know how it is, man. You know how it is.
You're so cool, monkey.
It's hard being a pimp. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah. I'm not actually that cool.
You only have like 43 friends.
I know. How'd you find my Facebook account?
You
I was fuck Facebook, dude. I never use a piece of shit. I get on like once every 3 months just to accept or decline some friend requests. Because half of them are people I don't know and shit like that.
check it maybe once a week just to see what's going on. That's about it.
Facebook is always
I
fucking
check it
friendly.
every day.
Every day.
Every hour.
Like,
I'm
hey,
on it
boy.
right now.
Fruit Loop. What a Fruit Loop. Anyway, so we'll catch all of you on the battlefield. It was great being on here tonight. Once again, we've got myself, Mean M16, or Zach. We've got Mac, Enjoy Your Nap, Harley, Gyro, and Eric. So, got Gyro and Eric as a repeating guest here, but it was great to have you on here, Mac. Looking forward to the podcast, I believe on Tuesday evening, which we will have up on Wednesday. So I enjoyed it this week. This podcast was a bit longer, still very fun. We're gonna get off here, maybe play some Battlefield. Who knows? It's 2 in the fucking morning. Anyway, guys, it was great being on this week. This is the Reprimanded Podcast, and we are done for the evening. See you guys next week.
We'll see ya.
Well,
See you
sorry,
later,
next
guys.
Tuesday evening. Catch you later.